What would we do without them? 100% volunteer, 100% fully trained, just like their career brethren. Only these guys serve without any pay, all hours of the day and night. And while they're not looking for a thank you, gratitude for what they do is always appreciated. Meet the members of Station 46, East Windsor Volunteer Fire Company Number 2, a fire department second to none, now in their 40th year of serving the residents of East Windsor, New Jersey.
Who are they? Well, you'll find out that they're your neighbors. Neighbors who will risk their lives to save yours. And they've never even met you. Who are these people anyway? And why do they do what they do?
It is a service to the community. I like always, since I was a little kid, I grown up in the fire services. My father was a firefighter back in the day. I like to help people.
One of the reasons I do it is to be a good example for my children, be a good example for, my family. Feel like I'm doing something for the community, and that's pay enough for me.
Volunteering, I guess, in service is just in my blood. I work for an agency that's a social service agency, so a lot of times, I kind of thought about what I could do in my own community to contribute and make a difference.
We help each other. They call me Pops. And tears come to my eyes sometimes when I think about it, because I see these guys grow. And our deputy chief was a junior fireman when I first came here. And we had an ex-chief that was a junior fireman when I came here. And it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling.
This is the first place I lived that did not have a paid fire company. I was in my middle 40s, was riding my bicycle, and I stopped by and I said, "Do you have an upper age limit?" And he said, "No." And I said, "Okay, give me an application." So it's something I wanted to do for a very long time.
This building was where we started. This building was added on. If you walk in that building now, it's kept immaculately. The people that are there now appreciate the people that built it. They appreciate what they built for them, and they take care of it. They grow it. They add to it. They buy new equipment. They train. So it's just evolving, and it's a good evolution. I'm really proud of this place. I'm proud that they're still doing the things that they're doing, that they've managed to survive in an era that volunteer fire companies are really, really struggling. And if people see this and appreciate that, any help that they can provide them, whether it's coming down and volunteering some time, some financial support or whatever, these guys deserve it. They do a hell of a job and get very little for it.
In 4 decades of service to the community, hundreds of selfless volunteers have stepped up to the plate to protect the citizens and businesses of East Windsor, and through a mutual aid pact, surrounding communities as well. It's simply what they do, and they do it very well. Taking time away from their families to train, they maintain their equipment, train some more, respond to emergency calls at all hours of the day and night, weekends, holidays, during dinner, birthday parties, anniversaries, and in all kinds of weather. And they train some more. It's what they do. The question is why.
We're rooted into our purpose here on earth is to serve others, and we get so much and we don't really question it, so it's the least you could do is give back in some way.
And be there at the worst time and worst crisis in people's lives, and being able to render assistance to them. There's a great satisfaction to that.
It's a special feeling, and I don't think you're born with it. I think you have to kind of inherit it a little bit after you've been in the fire company for a while. But then you'll get to know the feeling itself, and it stays with you.
This is all about protecting the residents of East Windsor.
The people, the house that you're actually going in, they're very thankful. They're scared, but they're thankful. You know, but there's all types of, you know, there's people who, when you come into their house, don't get my floor dirty. Watch your boots. Don't knock over my china and stuff like that. You get all that kind of stuff too. But for the most part, people are very thankful. You know, they just feel that they're safe.
It's the best club in the world. Come, you'll serve your community, you'll have great feelings, you'll make new friends, and it's something that will be with you for the rest of your life.
This is not the story about burning buildings. It's about the people who go inside them. It's not a story about car wrecks. It's about the people who respond to help. It's not about those who shy away from a problem. It's about those people who head directly toward it.
To some degree, they're not in their right minds. Firefighters have been described as the crazy ones running towards a hazard, towards a fire, towards a problem when everybody else is running from it. That's what separates firefighters from other people that do benevolent acts such as doctors and rescue squads and whatnot. None of them put themselves at personal risk as do the firefighters. Why one does it, who knows?
Mario Batista is the man with the awesome and often challenging job of wearing the white hat. He's the chief. He calls the shots. He's the man responsible for the safety of his men, a responsibility he does not take lightly.
What's going to be the next alarm? What I'm going to be confronted with? Where are my men going to be exposed to? And again, I need my men. If we go 20 men in, 20 men is going to come home to their families. That's what it keeps me awake all night long. Those things going over and over my head. Protect the resident, protect the property, and protect my men.
And this is echoed by former Chief Steve Genthy.
I've always thought about, what do I know about the location I'm going to? What can I expect from manpower? You know, so you start running that drill in your head as soon as the call comes in. It's an awesome responsibility knowing that you're responsible for not only your own members, the mutual aid companies that come in, and like anything else, there's always going to be apprehension. Tom, I don't ever want to get anybody hurt. There's no risk to lives still inside the building or whatever. If it's feasible to contain the fire from outside first, I'd much rather do that. I don't ever want to get one of my members hurt.
Thankfully, structure fires do not occur all that often, but when they do, it's all hands on deck, with regular assistance from East Windsor Volunteer Fire Company Number 1, Heightstown, and Cranberry, and from other municipalities as needed. It's a brotherhood. You help me, I help you, on a moment's notice, any moment, any time. And while the night sky is often brightly lit up, seasoned firefighters will tell you in many instances it could have been a lot worse.
I'm still getting phone calls. What the great job the guys, that crew did was unbelievable. Was not a hydrant location. She was made more difficult, and their crew just performed their best. It was a young crew. I had an excellent officer on that truck.
There's a reason why we have 170 hours of training or whatnot, and it's a lot of work. It's very coordinated. It's pretty much like a dance. You know, you really got to coordinate from inside, outside, and this company and that company, and you're not always the only ones there, which is good, but it really is like a dance. Someone's got to lead, and someone's got to make the turn, make the moves, and that's how we kind of get the job done.
The pump operator, I heard nothing but great praise on his performance based on the stress and how much he had to do. I'm very pleased with that crew and everybody was involved in the company. At the end, the assignment and everything was out, the investigation began. The homeowner came to Captain Zdrowski and compliment all the efforts that basically they saved the house. They contained it to the garage.
And it's not only fires. Teamwork also plays a critical role in automobile accidents and rescue assignments, where time and expertise are of the essence, where coordination kicks in, where the techniques for which they've practiced and trained become almost automatic and reflexive. Training is a serious thing. Besides an intense course at a local fire academy, organized drills are held several times a month to keep old and new alike updated on the latest in firefighting techniques. And the more they train, the more second nature their response becomes. In one exercise, firefighters wearing some 35 pounds of gear, including the use of their air packs, actually engage in a game of kickball, designed for them to get used to operating under enormous stress, to pace themselves and better control their breathing.
Sometimes it's a very thankless job, but deep down you know you're doing something good for one, your community, one for the people who believe in the fire company. No matter who it is, they look at the fire company, not so much the people. It's my fire company, my town, you know, and that's what it's all about. You want to get out to the public to do community stuff and get them to be aware that we're volunteer, and hopefully that will bring more volunteers in, because some people think we're paid. So to have the volunteers is a phenomenal thing. Plus it saves everybody a lot of money on their taxes.
Community involvement is what it's all about, with an ongoing year-long series of open houses where kids of all ages are invited to make themselves at home with seasonal activities that run the gamut, complete with food, music, and a close-up look at those big, magical yellow trucks. Community outreach also includes some common sense do's and don'ts and vivid demonstrations about having a successful and safe barbecue. With a fat and grease buildup in the grill, what started out as a fun time in the backyard can quickly turn ugly and could result in more than just a burnt hamburger. And speaking of fun times, the big yellow trucks visit local schools to give junior firefighters a hand at grabbing a hose line and getting a little wet in the process. Station 46 also offers classes to local businesses in the proper use of fire extinguishers. Yes, there are many different kinds. And yes, some are designed only for certain types of fires. Here, Chief Batista walks through which ones do what for key employees of Con Air. Education also works the other way around, as local firefighters learn firsthand what's stored inside various commercial buildings, in this case Hovillon, and what they might be up against in the event of a fire. Then there's the high-rise. Lessons on an orderly evacuation, while a simultaneous attack on any fire that might occur. Like any organization, fire departments need money in which to operate.
Last week we conducted a boot drive. You get a lot of thanks for people for your service.
Among the fundraising events is a boot drive, where every penny, nickel, and dollar bill tossed in is most appreciated.
I think that a lot of people even living in Twin Rivers still don't realize that we're a volunteer fire department. You have people that move in, they say, volunteer, you don't get paid? You do this for free? And I tell them, yeah, we do. You know, we do it because we want to help our neighbors in our community.
Yes, many of them don't know that we are volunteers. Matter of fact, we just had a case a few days ago. A resident had electrical fire in an outlet, and instead of calling 911, he drove to the firehouse. And it just happened that one of our police officers was going by and seen this person knocking at the door, and he approached and, where are they? And he said, they volunteers. So the police officer was the one that made the notification, and we got dispatched. So the little bit delay, it could have cost a lot. Fortunately, was just an isolated burnt outlet and was no damage to the house. So yes, there's quite a few residents that are not aware that we volunteers.
With real estate, it's location, location, location. With firefighting, it's practice, practice, practice. And no two fires are the same. Station 46 also enjoys the support of local media, publicizing their efforts in what they do. When not fighting fires or engaged in training exercises, members also take the time to reach out to youngsters, teaching them about fire safety during National Night Out. They also proudly take part in local events, including participation in parades. In December, Santa stops by for a visit, and he makes house calls too. It's about protecting the residents of East Windsor. It's about community involvement. It's about education. And yes, even East Windsor is not immune to that frantic call, "My cat is stuck in a tree, please help." In this case, the frisky feline found himself stuck in a crawl space. Fire department personnel to the rescue, armed with a tuna-flavored treat. Kitty and owner reunited. Happy ending, the best kind.
The greatest 18 years of my life. I've made a lot of friends. I've met a lot of people. Some guys who have moved away and aren't members of the department anymore, who I still have friendships with. It's a brotherhood. You create a bond.
We have formed a bond for sure, and you know, our families have gotten to know each other. We get together for certain events, and that's been a nice, very enjoyable part as well.
It challenges you both physically and mentally, and it's exciting. So if it's something that you want to prepare yourself and challenge yourself on, then yeah, absolutely go try it out.
Our ability to go out and professionally handle something that perhaps is the worst day in the life of someone else, and to maybe add some stability and maybe a positive outcome, maybe stopping the fire or perhaps saving somebody.
Still figuring out the reason why. I don't know, but I feel that I'm doing a great thing for the community.
We show up to the house at 3 in the morning with their fire alarm going off. They feel safe that we showed up. They're happy. So instilling that feeling in somebody else, I'll lose an hour or two of sleep over it.
I always wanted to be a firefighter when I was a kid. So I used to live across the street and I see it, so I came over here, put the application in, and I love doing it. I feel proud of myself when I do it.
There's nothing that can replace the looks on people's faces when you show up to help them.
I was a Marine active duty for 4 years, but now I'm in the reserves, which is a weekend a month. I felt during my spare time I had a little more I could help out the community and whatever they need.
I actually want to go career with this, so I've since joining, I like it. I enjoy it a lot, and it's really inspired me to just, my dream career is to become a career firefighter.
When I see people running away, I want to help. I guess you don't even think about it. You just go and see what you can do to help.
No, I don't think I'm crazy. Something I like doing, helping people, helping the community, being part of something. I don't think I'm crazy at all. I mean, the firefighting is a big piece of it, but we're not fighting fires all the time. We're down here at the firehouse, there's camaraderie, we hang out together, we have fun at drills. So that's a big piece of it as well.
15 years ago, in a television documentary celebrating the fire company's 25th anniversary, some memorable and notable fires took center stage, and a few charter members explained what the fire service meant to them. No two calls are identical. None are routine. All are dangerous. Yes, that was a bolt of lightning that hit Chief Bill Askinstead's vehicle on Friday the 13th, no less, in August of 1993. Want to see that again in slow motion? It happened at a structure fire at the corner of Etra and Disbro Hill Roads.
You know what? I couldn't really tell you. It was just something that I've always wanted to do, never had the opportunity.
My oldest son is a paid fireman right now in Washington Township. I guess him growing up, he watched me, and in addition to myself, other members of his family were firemen up in North Jersey, so I guess he was conditioned to it. But when he was sworn in, I have to admit I was pretty proud of him that day.
I just received my service award for 35 years. I started in 1981.
I've been in the fire service now 43 years as a volunteer here in East Windsor Township. I've served as president, lieutenant, assistant chief. Currently, I'm the captain in the fire police. I have a son who's also in the fire service. He's also a fire inspector for the state of New Jersey, and I'm very proud of him.
To the members of my own fire company, the charter members who I worked with to build this company back in the 70s, most of them sitting over here, the life members, thank you for all your time, all of your help, and all that you've done to make this organization great. To the 175 members that have come and gone through the doors during my term, I thank each and every one of you.
I can only say, for all of you charter members that have been nice enough to come tonight, I would hope that somewhere in life that I would be able to sit back and know that I was able to accomplish what you guys did, to sit down from a grassroots point of view, develop something, and really be a living legacy to you guys. So tonight, I will say in closing, I am proud to be a member of the East Windsor Volunteer Fire Company, but I am prouder to have met the charter members here tonight, and tonight is your night. Thank you very much. Let's eat.
It's brotherhood of firefighters. Everybody feels like they're family. You ever need something, you ask someone what their profession is. Volunteers come from a different long line of professions, plumbers, electricians. Everybody's there to help each other in one sense or another. But when those tones go off, whether you like the person or you don't, they're your best friend because they could save your life.
I have to run a business. So I have my fire medic side that I have to answer calls and be the incident commander, delegate, and control the scene and make sure all my members and everybody involved comes back home. That's my main priority. Aside from that, I have the business to run. There is purchase orders, there's repair the equipment, there's building maintenance. All that is under a budget by the township, and I conform to their budget. So it's like your own finances at home.
On behalf of the officers and members of East Windsor Volunteer Fire Company No. 1, your sister fire company, we want to congratulate you on 40 years of service to East Windsor Township. It's been a pleasure serving side by side with you, and we wish you the best going into the future. Congratulations.
On behalf of the Hightstown Fire Department, we want to wish Station 46 a happy 40th anniversary, and we wish you many more.
Congratulations to the East Windsor Volunteer Fire Company No. 2 on 40 years of service to the East Windsor community.
On behalf of the men and women of the East Windsor Township Rescue Squad, District 1, I'd like to congratulate you on 40 years of service, and here's to another 40. Best wishes.
It is my honor and privilege to congratulate Station 46 on behalf of all the men and women of the East Windsor Police Department on 40 years of dedicated service to the East Windsor community. Thank you.
This is a very exciting occasion, and I'm here to congratulate Volunteer Fire Company No. 2 on their 40th anniversary of tremendous service and great contributions and dedication to our community of East Windsor Township. We thank every single one of you who volunteer your time. We're proud of the great job you do. We thank the leadership of the company over these many years, and we are very thrilled to have you reach this wonderful milestone, and look forward to working with you for many, many years in the future. Congratulations, happy birthday, and thanks so much.
I'm proud of my men. The time they give to the community and to the company, I cannot expect anymore. All of us in this house, we love what we do. And yeah, we are the ones that go into the running into the flames while everybody's run away. Is the pride and is a commitment to the community. My goal is nobody's going to get hurt as long as I'm around. You know, whether I'm just a regular firefighter or officer level, everybody comes home.